Do you know what you're legally required to disclose when selling a home in 2026? This is one of those things that's easy to overlook, but getting it wrong can cause real problems after closing. In this video, I'll walk you through the key disclosures sellers need to know in 2026 and why being upfront from the start can actually make the whole sale smoother. Let me tell you a story. When I represent buyers, 99% of the time, we are renegotiating the price midway through the transaction because the seller did not get the complete inspections or the seller did not disclose information. So it's very important when you're thinking of putting the home on the market that you do take that extra step. For example, we had a buyer, we're looking at a property and we find out there's possibly mold. So then we get a mold inspection and then we find out we have to get an air quality test. All these items should have been done on the front end by the seller, but we did it midway through the contract and we had to renegotiate the price. That's what I don't want you to have to do. We want to make sure you're ahead of the game and you're doing your thorough inspection and disclosing properly. So here are the 3 things that I feel must be disclosed. Number 1, material defects. These are issues with the home that can impact the value or even the safety of anyone that's living there. We're talking about things like foundation cracks, plumbing problems, faulty electrical systems, even smaller problems like roof leaks or water damage can influence a buyer's decision. The rule of thumb is if this is something a buyer would want to know before making an offer, it needs to be disclosed. Being clear about these issues upfront help prevent surprises later and keep the sale on track. For example, we represent the buyer and what happens is we find out that there's a water leak. And with that water leak, we found out that there's some mold. So now we have to go one step deeper. And then now we have to get an air test to see, is there actually mold and what it's going to take to get rid of that mold. These are things that the seller should have taken care of on the front end. Therefore, we're not, negotiating midway through, finding out that there's a more expensive of an issue that needs to be taken care of. The second one is history of repairs and renovations. If you've done major work like a kitchen remodel, a new roof, or updated systems, it's important to share that with buyers. Even if a licensed contractor handled the work, buyers will want to know about permits, warranties, and any issues that were fixed along the way. Being transparent here shows buyers exactly what they're getting and builds trust right away. It's especially important for big ticket renovations that could affect the home's value down the road. Sharing these details can make your home feel more reliable and move your sale along smoothly. Example, on several occasions, once again, when I represent the buyer, if the seller puts in a bathroom, but it's not permitted, fast forward, now we realize and we find out it's not permitted. And when we do our research, we are renegotiating because either that seller is going to get that bathroom permitted or are they going to discount the price so that we can get it permitted. Another big thing is code violations. We always call when I represent the buyer, are there any code violations against the property? My last call that I made, the city called me back and said, you know what, there's no code violations, but when we look at a drone, we can see an extra unit on the side of the house. As of right now, no one's making a big deal about it, but just make sure your buyer is aware that eventually that particular unit that's on the side of the house does need to be permitted and it will possibly come up later. Those are things that I'm saying you need to take care of on the front end and you don't want this to happen while you're in the middle of a contract. And the third item is environmental hazards. Things like lead-based paint, radon, asbestos, or mold. It always needs to be disclosed. In 2026, buyers are more thorough than ever, and many are even hiring environmental inspectors to check air quality and potential contamination. For example, like I mentioned before, we had a property, there was some mold detected, and we had to do an air quality test. So once again, if you know there's mold, then we need to do a double check, make sure you have a mold check, have an air quality check. We want to do this on the front end. We do not want the buyer to come in and start doing these inspections midway during our contract. If you know about any environmental issues, it's crucial to be upfront. Even if they seem minor, skipping this step could lead to lawsuits or canceled contracts down the line. When in doubt, check with a real estate expert like myself. Being safe and transparent protects you and keeps your sale on track. By sharing these must-know disclosures when selling your home in 2026, you can avoid legal headaches and make the entire process so much more smooth. It's all about protecting yourself and building trust with your buyer. If you have questions about disclosures or the selling process in general, I'm here to help. Whether you're ready to sell now or just starting to think about it, I can guide you every step of the way. Reach out today to schedule a free strategy call. You'll get the guidance you need to maximize your sale price and ensure the sale goes as smoothly as possible.